Shalom. That means peace. Peace, Israel. This lesson is going to be dealing with, just staying mindful of what we're sowing. Just staying mindful of what we're sowing, which just came in process, reading. And I want to start here. This is Proverbs 11 and 18. The show so. It says, the wicked worketh a deceitful work. The wicked work a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. So, before I go ahead and get into this train of thought, this meditation, today's meditation, I'm gonna say all praise to the Most High, who people call God, whose name is Yahweh, and what we know and understand to be the Hebrew tongue, the Hebrew language, in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai, who people call Jesus. All right, whose true name is Yahweh Shai in the ancient Hebrew tongue, and what we know and understand. All right, peace and blessings to the elect and everyone awakening. All right, repenting. So, when you read this script, this verse, it says, the wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. So, there's two things going on. One, this verse makes you think of what? The wicked worketh deceitful work, and even more when you narrate it, the wicked worketh the deceitful work. It makes you think Jeremiah 48 and 10, how it says, cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully, and cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood. So cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully. That can only be the wicked. According to this verse, it says the wicked worketh deceitful work. Right? So that's that. But then when you get to this latter part, it says, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. So people that's doing the work, putting forth things, you're laboring, in some way, and more than likely your labor, your effort is bringing forth something, you know, whether it be good or bad. But everyone's efforts is only to bring forth everyone's effort in whatever way, whether it's a lack of or is in a diligent manner, is all and only aiding to stuff coming forth, something manifesting. Like again, whether it be good or bad. But it said, because it say the wicked work of deceitful work. The wicked work of deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. So you're sowing, and the scriptures talk about that. Understanding, being mindful that you reap what you sow. So people don't really realize how much their effort, whether it's intentional or unintentional, conscious or unconscious, is bringing forth, is aiding to the bringing forth of something. You know, whether it be an event, a future event, a status, a future status, a response, some actions or some energy coming your way, whatever. Is all due to, it will all be due to what you were doing, saying, or not doing, or doing in a certain way, or doing so much, or not doing so much, or not doing in a certain way. That's how you would get that. So this is telling us, basically to be mindful as we read these scriptures of, that not only what we're sowing, but that we're sowing. And then once you know first that you're sowing, when you just doing and going and living on a day-to-day basis and saying on a day-to-day basis, you want to be mindful what it is that you're sowing, what it is, examine what it is you're doing, watching what you do, watching what you say, because again, everything we get comes from everything we do or don't do, to whatever extent, to whatever degree, or etc. In whatever fashion. So again, being mindful, we want to be mindful that of what we're sowing. So I'm gonna read it one more time. It says Proverbs 11:18. The wicked work a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. Yeah, so me just I want to make sure, like for example, with knowing that, but he that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. Um, okay, I want to make sure I'm putting forth, I'm planting, and like they talk about karma, right? I'm doing good, right? I'm doing forth. I'm constantly in everything, and I do, not even just in teaching. I'm putting forth righteousness. It's of righteousness. My whole concern is everything that my efforts, my effort, you know, my focus should all be towards righteousness when reading this. You know, if I'm doing that for all my actions or my deeds, my words, my teachings, my responses to things, my attitudes to certain things is um, righteous, is of righteousness. Because without it, as it says, your reward is, which in this connotation, obviously it will be good. You want it to be good. It's unlikely. It has a chance of, but if it's all my actions, my words, my diligence, things I'm minding, you know, is of righteousness, it'll be sure. I can expect it. It's the equivalent of knowing, like, I planted something and I'm going about it in the right way and I'm dealing with it, I'm tending to it. So I know, okay, I should get, I'm gonna get, I should get, and I'm gonna get. Or I'll give you one better. I got one, I get another one, I know I have two. You know, simple. I know that. It'll be sure. I'm gonna have two. So that's how, because the Lord, that's how the Lord's work. He's not unrighteous to forget our labor of love, man. And there's so many things when you think about it, um, that you can, be doing, saying, not doing, going against whatever, you know, amongst watering, help grow. That's of righteousness, because the Lord said what? Let's get the scripture. Let's come here. Matthew 9 and 37. Then saith he unto his disciples, meaning his followers, the harvest is true. The harvest truly is plenteous, right, or plenteous, but the laborers are few. The harvest is it. The harvest truly is plenteous, or plenteous, but the laborers are few. So there you go. So there's a lot that could be being done and needs to be being done, that could be being done and needs to be being tended to, that shows us that much more that um, can actually and is able to actually come forth, if it was being tended to. It's plenty of things as of righteousness, good, ultimately the kingdom of heaven. Which is no, I won't say that, but uh, I mean, the scriptures do say this, the kingdom is everlasting. So it has no end in that regard. Like it just keeps going. It's a dominion that will just keep going, and and becoming more and more, you know, sure, sound, stable, established, permanent. So in that regard, yeah. But you got all these things, like I said, that's of that, um, and things that will help make up that can come forth if the things that activate them or help bring them forth was being tended to. So it's basically like that, man. Like, um, that's basically the point. It says, "Pray ye therefore that the Lord of the harvest that pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that He will send forth laborers into His harvest." Exactly, because obviously this harvest is the beautiful things that can be reaped. Can be seen, can be had and obtained. You know, once the process tended to them for them to be here, to where it could be like that is being done or it's done. Then all that obtaining can take place. And that's what the scriptures talk about when you go to Romans in the ninth chapter. No, Romans in the 11th chapter. Romans 11:7. What then? See that? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded because they couldn't see that in order for the things you want to be obtained, right? The things you want to see to be seen, it starts with you sowing things that's gonna bring that forth. You sowing in a way to where these things can come forth for you, for your people. But most wouldn't get that. Most wouldn't get this concept. The elect will get this though. So that's that. So yeah, that's basically that. I'm gonna get one more. It says again, Proverbs 11:18. The wicked work it. The wicked work it. They deceitful work. Everybody working. Let me grab that real quick. This is yeah, 1 Corinthians 3, and let's start at verse. Let's start here. It says 10. 1 Corinthians 3:10. According to the grace of God which is given unto me as a wise master builder, right? I have laid. So there's a difference, and that's getting to the point now. Like everyone can build, but everybody won't be a wise builder. Like the scriptures say, whoso we grab the two foundations. Therefore, Matthew 7:24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not. And it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. So everybody's building. It says, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the wind blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. And it came to pass when Yahushua had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine. So coming back here, 1 Corinthians 3:10, for the grace of God, but according to the grace of God which is given unto me, it says, as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another builded thereon. But let every man take heed how he builded thereupon. Thereupon. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yahushua Mashiach. You see Jesus Christ, but you look it up, it's Yahushua. But anyway, it says, you can just click this, you go to that name, you see it right here. Jesus. You open the original Bible, or you go to get to this, start at 1611, work your way back. You're not gonna see a J, you're gonna see an I. So it's never named Jesus. Isis. That go back to this. Yahweh Shai Wa I. Yahweh Shai. Alright. But anyway. So we come back here. It says, and that's just for the new listeners. So it says, for the other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yahushua Mashiach. Now if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble. So things that can be just burnt up, and things that can actually withstand and that's made to withstand. Gold can actually withstand fire. True gold, true silver, true certain stones, which in this case, precious stones. You got a difference between stones and precious stones, right? But it's putting it in comparison to something that couldn't, which is wood, hay, and stubble. That's what our works is being likened unto. That's what, except things we do. Us, in this case, our works, right? But it says, for every man's work shall be made manifest. For every man's work shall be made manifest. For the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire. And the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. If any man's work abide, which he has built thereupon, he shall receive a reward. So there you go. So the point is, everyone, is working, aka laboring, aka sowing. And the only way to receive the reward or these things you want to see obtain that which is to be obtained, which is life, is by putting in the work to where that can happen, to where that could be seen. That could be seen. These things could be seen. That could be obtained, etc., etc. So get a couple more. So again, coming back here, Proverbs 11:18, the wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. So you just want to stay mindful of what you're sowing, like with your lessons, what you listen to, knowing that's what's going on. Everybody doing and saying and in a way to where they helping something manifest. They are either salvaging life more, doing things that's leading to themselves being made whole again, put back together, however you want to look at it. And some that's actually doing things that's slowly and surely destroying them. That's getting them further away from life. That's having them, lose a grip of reality. And then on the final scale, I'll say, is if when it comes down to matters of teaching, because it say, I'm gonna read 19. It says, as righteousness tended to life. See that? As righteousness tended to life, so he that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. So you got people that don't really realize, how effective what they do or don't do or say or however much they don't say is. And that's even in regards to like lessons or doing just putting word out here, right? So you as an individual want to be mindful that that's going on, and there's people that isn't aware of this that are speaking. You was an individual that probably wasn't aware of this, and was speaking, or could kind of find yourself at times not really being aware of this, but yet could be speaking. Everything you do dictates what you're going to end up seeing or not seeing, right? because the Lord is not unrighteous. No matter how long it take, it just depends on whatever the process is for that which you are trying to manifest, which you are trying to obtain or see. You know. So, and then you gotta, with that being said, I'm gonna jump up to the point and close this out. It says, verse 9, and hypocrite with his mouth destroyed his neighbor, but through knowledge the just shall be delivered. So a hypocrite is an actor. So this is someone who, you know, is probably putting out word and stuff like that, but they're not really minding, you know, what it is they doing. Because the Lord doesn't want these neighbors obviously being destroyed. You know, because these neighbors obviously here would be the just that it goes on to talk about, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. So these hypocrites are people talking, but they're blind leaders. They're leading people with things that's not of righteousness. That's blocking righteousness from being known, from being able to be obtained. So they're not showing righteousness. They're doing something else. So they're not, you know, in that regard showing righteousness. And let's just say in any regard. So that person won't receive the reward. Because they acting, they're deceitfully doing the work. As it says, Jeremiah 48:10, cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully, and cursed be he that keepeth his sword back from blood. So you're not really doing it. You're acting like you're doing it, but you're not doing it. That's why we want to be mindful of the fact that we're sowing and what we're sowing, which it should be righteous. It should be righteousness if you want the reward, if you want the sure reward. You know, because you only playing yourself, hurting yourself. You only hurting yourself. You're hurting others, which will lead to you ultimately hurting yourself, because you're gonna be hurt by doing that. You know, because you're not realizing, like, you're dictating your future. So just sow righteousness. You know, am I sowing righteousness? Righteousness is what could be in just the most simple matter. What this is Proverbs 12 and Proverbs 12:17. It says, he that speaketh truth showeth forth righteousness, but a false witness deceit. So there it is. You know, you speaking truth. Things is of truth is to others. Like, you would be, you know, you speaking truth, putting truth out here, you sowing righteousness. Because it says again, he that speaketh truth sheweth forth righteousness. So that's righteous in itself. You know, because imagine if you was speaking but you putting forth words, but it's their lies. That's deceit, man. So how could you reap anything good from that? You couldn't. You wouldn't. A world of people being informed and not deceived by their own vain opinion, and, you know, not dealing with things in the way they not supposed to, and looking at things in the way they supposed to. That could never manifest if you know, them things not sold to them. You know, truth is not sold to them to where that, you know, could be the case or couldn't be the case. You know, but only the opposite if lies is being put to them. So again, you wouldn't get that's all represents good. You know, you putting truth out here, now you got people informed, people dealing right, a righteous society, you know, that's influenced by righteousness, that's being moved and provoked to be righteous at least. You know, but you start with Jake first and foremost. You know, and that can't be without the thing that it takes for that to be like that, for these people to be like that. without that thing being put forth, put forth to them, pushed to them, pushed out here. So if you're being one that's helping pushing it, you're being one more person in that harvest that's laboring to get a world like that, to get a people like that, a people like that, to get a society like that. And that's just basically it. I'm gonna use the same chapter. It says Proverbs 12:14. I might do a lesson on this too. It says, "A man shall be satisfied with good by a man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth." See that? And the recompense of a man's hands shall be rendered unto him. And the recompense of a man's hands, what a man's owed based off his handwork, if you will, right, shall be rendered unto him. You gonna get back what you put in. You know what I'm saying? But again, if you're putting in good fruit from your mouth, you're gonna receive good back, right? You're gonna gain gold because you're gaining people. Like if you're selling fruit, so with selling fruit, you're getting rich. Now, what is the money? It's the spiritual money. You're getting people that's likened unto gold, which is actually money. We got to read the scriptures from an ancient mentality. It wasn't no FRNs, right? It was actual metals, things is of actual value. Metals, gold, etc. Precious metals. So with all that being said, I'm gonna close here. Again, matter of fact, Proverbs 12:24, the hand of the diligent shall bear rule. It's a quick one. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. So if you putting in work towards it's gonna lead you to ruling, you doing things that's gonna put you in position to where you ruling at whatever it is, or just ruling period. Which ultimately is to be ruling with the Lord. That's what's gonna happen if you putting in that work to manifest that, to get that, to have that, to obtain that. To obtain rule, just put in the work to do it, and you'll have it. But and here, Proverbs 22:29, seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. So this is basically a scripture dealing with how they say hard work will take you a long way, or smart work, I should say, because it say in the WEB, seest thou a man diligent in his business? Oh no, let me read in the BB. Have you seen a man who is expert in his business? He will take his place, Salakia, before kings. Before kings, his place will not be among low persons. Yeah, your gift, your work, your smart work is gonna make room for you. It's gonna have you exalted. Putting in the right work, the right. So it's an investment, man. So call on my help, boss, man. Shout out to